guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am actually not going to be on this couch really at all. I'm going to be showing you my full pantry tour. I'm going to show you what I keep in my pantry, how I store everything, and how I stay organized. Pretty much everything in my kitchen is really from Linen Chest. Here in Canada, it's a really big home goods store. They sell a lot of linens, they sell a lot of towels, they also sell a ton of organizational stuff for your pantry, as well as all kinds of kitchen utensils. For the most part, organization-wise, everything will be found at Linen Chest. I will try and link everything that I discuss in this video in the description. Most part, all the organizational bins and storage devices are really all from Linen Chest. This has helped me keep my life so in order. Also, you guys will notice that on all of my bins there are labels. Those are from Vinyl Edge Design. I ordered them on Etsy. I got the inspiration from a company called The Home Edit, which is a company that goes into people's homes and completely organizes them. It makes life so much easier for people. So instead of spending the money to have them sort of create a plan for me, I just did it myself, and I think that everybody can too. Follow along and you guys will see how I get my pantry organized. You'll get some tips on how you can get your pantry organized and how to just make your life so much easier and clutter-free. All right guys, so here we go. This is my pantry. It is a walk-in pantry, so even more of a reason why I need to be organized. So yeah, my Vitamix actual holder is not here right now. At the top, I have a bunch of cookbooks that I like or have gone to. Most of them are on my Amazon page and available to see. Some extra milk bottles. I have some extra, you know, these glass holders. Sometimes I put smoothies in them. My kettle that I use every day. My Vitamix. This is protein that Chris uses that I'm not down with. And another cereal that Chris eats. These are puffins. And my beloved rice cooker. Then over here I have cans. I know that cans are not the best, but these are all BPA free cans. So we have some organic coconut milk, and then I have my pastas over here in this amazing bin. These will all be linked in the description below. And then over here we have my nuts. And I have some pumpkin seeds. I've got some pistachios. I've got almonds, Brazil nuts, some dried mango for Chris, and some cocoa powder. So I really like to use these OXO bins for things like nuts. They're super easy. You pop them open, grab what you need. And I had all of these labels made, again, by a company from Etsy. I will link them below in the description on this video. Here I have some vegan sprouted brown rice crisps. I use these to make my Oshi Glow bars. They're awesome. And then I have my beloved bars, Raw Rev, some Kalumi. You guys can see more about that in my bar segment here on YouTube. Some nut butters. These are really my go-tos. Raw coconut butter, raw almond butter. This one is from Trader Joe's. Some Wilderness Poets raw almond butter. I usually also use this brand of raw almond butter. I'm just waiting for my order. Next we have the supplement section, and I'm actually going to show you guys these a little bit more in depth a little bit later in this video, but I have it all laid out here in the middle section. And then below we have some snacks, we have crackers. These I will also go through a little bit later in this video so you can see what I'm always really snacking on. As you can tell, it's a lot of Sietes. And then down below here we have some grains I have, and what I do is I always keep extras. So I have more grains in here, and I just sort of hide them back there, you know, and then I've written here what extra things I have. Like back here I have extra spices, so it's written here, and then back here I have nut butter so that I know what's there and I'm not getting disorganized. These are my go-to grains, which is usually brown short grain rice, brown long grain rice, some lentils, and usually I will also have some wild rice back here that I like to mix with the brown rice. And then we also have a little bit of buckwheat, which is super healthy and good for you. I do not use this one often, but it's in there, so one day. Then here we have my oats, steel cut oats, or rolled oats for my overnight oats, steel cut oats to cook in the rice cooker, organic cold pressed coconut oil that I get at Costco. It's like the most affordable, greatest coconut oil to bake with. Here you have coconut sugar, cane sugar. These are two of my go-to sweeteners. There's some other sweeteners. This is just actually a Simple Mills frosting that I'm leaving in here because I don't have space. Here is an organic honey, local, unpasteurized, so on and so forth. Some maple syrup from Costco, also love this one, and some brown rice syrup. The baking stuff I am going to show you again a little bit later in this video. And then down here you have my flour. So this one is almond meal. Then we have some paleo flour, coconut flour. This is almond flour that has been a bit more refined, whole wheat flour. And I have also always something on hand from Simple Mills. Some artisanal bread. I just leave it tucked in there. Then some white flour back there. And again, it is labeled so that I can see what is what. As you guys know, I don't eat, you know, gluten. So the whole wheat flour and the white flour are for when I'm making recipes for a party or for, I don't know what. I just have it always on hand just in case. Over here, I've got the cookbook that my sisters made for me with all of my friends during my wedding time, and they made it in time for my bridal shower. So I'll just put some printed out recipes in here, but we have a lot of my friends' recipes and things that they made for me, which is the cutest book ever, and I will cherish it forever. With the KK logo, very sweet. It's like a little tin that holds garlic and onions and keeps them fresh. I got it at West Elm. This is my favorite avocado oil of all time. So it's just sitting here because I'm always gonna go and grab it. And then I have my SodaStream, which I love and use often. Here we have my Nespresso machine that is actually working now. It was broken last week. And then here we have my toaster oven, which I could not live without. I do not have a microwave. So I do everything in this baby, and I'm a big toaster oven fan, more so than a toaster. Some larger size bowls that do not fit into my cabinets, a big pasta dish. These are little things that I had ordered off Etsy for our engagement party to put in like meatballs and hors d'oeuvres. This was me and Chris's logo. We both have the tattoo. You guys have seen it. So I just leave these here if ever I need like a little toothpick, you know, to close something up, or I don't know. I can't throw them out, so I'm keeping them. And I keep them in here next to my large selection of Nespresso pods that I have obviously labeled and in a bin. Here my sister-in-law leaves herself her special tea and a mug because she's a big tea drinker and I'm not. I always make concoctions, so she has this here for when she's over. Salad mixer, cutting board, placemats, some aprons, my cheese grater. So I just have a bunch of kitchen essentials right here, very neatly put away. Creuset sort of Dutch oven. I have a bowl from Morgan. These are more like serving dishes and things that when I have guests, I'll put some nuts or olives in here. So I just leave those things here. I have my NutriBullet here that I use every day. I have my KitchenAid spiralizer attached to my mixer, stand mixer. And then I have my KitchenAid immersion blender that is also something that I use every single day. I'm obsessed with this thing. That is all stored here. And that is my pantry. That's really a little quick tour around my pantry. And now I'm gonna go more in depth into what I keep inside the pantry that you may be curious about. So as promised, now I'm gonna show you some of the things that I use all the time that I think you guys would wanna see. And I'm gonna just also, before I get into what's actually inside, talk about how I store stuff. So these are my absolute favorite bins. From Interdesign, you'll be able to find them in the description below. I get them at Linen Chest. You'll have a link there to buy them. And I get the labels from a place that I found on Etsy, Vinyl Edge Design. So they'll come like this, and you basically just stick them on and then take off the back and the front. It's very simple to do. I will also link them in the description below on this video. So this is one of my supplement boxes. In here I have some of my favorites from Sun Potion. So you have the ashwagandha that I put in my bulletproof coffee every day. I have some moringa, which I put in smoothies all the time. And then I have some extra reishi. Sun Potion is one of my go-to companies for adaptogens. I also have some products here from David Wolf. So basically in this, in the mid compartment of my pantry, I leave all my supplements, the things that I go to every day. I also have this from LYNQ, which is basically like a mixture for a green juice. So it's a really good way to get all your vegetables if you don't eat vegetables that day. You can just throw it into a smoothie, throw it into water. So I love this also. So whenever I want something, I just grab it in the bin and it keeps things really organized, and then I just put it right back. Okay, so this is what I keep some of my supplements, some of my superfood powders, my algae, some adaptogens. These are Myron glass jars. They're UV protected jars. Get them in the light. It's hard to see from there. You're just gonna see them black, but they kind of have like a purple tint to them. They basically do not allow foods and powders to oxidize. So in terms of like this is marine phytoplankton, which is a very powerful algae, matcha, chlorella, spirulina, and reishi. It's really good to have them in these light protected or light sensitive canisters. So that is where I leave a lot of my superfoods or my superfood powders, and they're just easy to literally just grab out of the pantry, open up, and use in whatever I need. Next thing is my proteins. These are also still supplements. So as you guys know, my favorite protein is Dr. Mercola Vegan Protein, so I leave that in here. I always usually do in like my smoothies a scoop of the vegan protein and a scoop of my collagen peptides. This I'll leave in here. I even have my bone broth collagen. I have my collagen peptide. I have collagen beauty water. I have my creamer, and I have more collagen beauty water. So this is really a vital proteins bin mixed with some Dr. Mercola protein. Again, every time I need something, I just grab the whole thing, bring it out, take what I need, and then put it back. So I know I showed you some of this before, but I'm just gonna go a little deeper because I'm sure people want to see what I snack on. This is like one of my go-to snacks, the thin stackers from LYNQ. You know, they're usually quinoa or brown rice crackers. I'll put like almond butter, I'll put avocado on them. And then I always have some sort of gluten-free cracker. These are Mary's, they're super seed crackers. I love these, I don't eat them too often. Guests over, or if I ever just need something crunchy, these are great to have on hand. Then I have these Moringa raw vegan and coconut wraps my dad gave me. Again, Chris eats them sometimes. They're not my they're not my go-to. I'm more of a siete girl, but that's what I keep in my cracker bin, my snack bin. It's not the most organized. I always have some dark chocolate for either me or Chris. I'm not the biggest chocolate eater, but I always have 70% or higher dark chocolate, so that's in there. I always have different variations. This I guess I could throw out now, but siete chips that are always, you know, clipped up with some sort of clip. I love these caramels. They're so good when you have like a little sweet tooth. And then I always have usually a box of Simple Mills crackers on hand because the ingredients in Simple Mills are awesome. So this is a brand that I really like. Again, I'll put all of like my go-to snacking things that are in my pantry in the description on this video so you guys can find the different flavors they have or find out where they carry them and order them for yourselves to try. More dark chocolate. My hubby loves dark chocolate. I always have kukla on hand because I just find that it's like a really good late night or anytime you want something sweet, and the ingredients are super clean. Fun little fact about kukla. First of all, it's from Montreal. Second of all, it means doll in Greek. Third of all, I love them so much and I've loved them for so long that at our wedding, we gave everybody a full bag of the vanilla in our welcome bags. Purely Elizabeth, one of my favorite granolas. I always have one type, if not more. I'll sprinkle it on top of smoothies. I'll just eat it like out of the bag as a snack. I absolutely love this stuff. And then these are actually a local company called Molly's Best. It's really just made up of different sort of chopped nuts, and there's a little bit of beans in it, ground vanilla, very clean ingredients. I'm really enjoying this company as well. You guys, like in the back of my pantry, I always put labels so you can see what's hidden because I like to keep some stock back there. So I'm just gonna give you an example of what I keep. This is my spice stock. I like stock. So I have a lot of different steak spices, ones that I like. Now I know I can order them online, but in the past, I would go to the States and then bring back what I needed. So I have a ton of spices in here. I have like extra sesame seeds in here, an extra thing of vanilla. And then I'll even have like extra sea salt. So whenever I need to refill my spices, I always have the extra bags in here. In the moment that I'm filming this, I just realized that I had extra sea salt and that I need more. So I'm just gonna do that right now. I refilled my sea salt and I'm just gonna literally pick this back up and put it back where it belongs. These usually stay hidden, but it's just nice knowing that it's there. If I ever need more spices, I know it's there. And yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna show also my pasta little bin. Even though I'm not someone who makes too much pasta, but I figured that it's something that you guys would want to see what I use. I would always use this go-go quinoa spaghetti. Looking at the ingredients closer, I see now that it has organic white rice flour as opposed to a brown rice flour. I would so much rather use something that's brown rice than white. Here I have a brown rice pasta by Pasta Joy. This one is just brown rice and water, so this is probably a better option. I have some buckwheat noodles that I always have on hand because buckwheat is naturally gluten-free. Very often a empowered noodle bowl by Oshi Glows with these noodles. Whenever I make lasagna, this is my go-to. This is the organic green lentil lasagna sheets, and I absolutely love this. It is by Explore Cuisine. Again, I will link it below on this video. And my all-time favorite pasta that you can't get in Canada, unfortunately, is Trader Joe's red lentil sedinani. Anyway, it's red lentil pasta. The ingredients is literally organic red lentil flour. That's it. Awesome option. Has tons of protein, 13 grams of protein in a third of a cup. So, sorry, in 3/4 of a cup, there's 13 grams of protein and less than 1 gram of sugar. So that's amazing. And film, or I do it. What do you think? Thing I'm going to do, it's not in my actual pantry, but I'm going to show you my oils and my spice rack because that is a pantry item and you guys are going to ask, and I'm kind of impressed with my spice selection. So here I have all of my spices. They are all simply organic. Literally the ones that I use the most are in the front. It does not have a label on top. I have labeled here. So I have my garlic powder, I have everything, all my different spices here. I have my blends on the side here, but for the most part they're all by Simply Organic. You can find them all on my Amazon page. Up here on top, the ones that I use really all the time are here. Chili flakes for avocado toast, some cinnamon, pink salt, sea salt, black pepper, and cayenne pepper, and then I have my oven mitts over there. And then in the bottom you have all my vinegars and oils that I use. So here I have my olive oil, I have a brand new apple cider vinegar, a honey white balsamic by Zoe, and other just vinegars. I have white balsamic, this is some Chosen Foods, coconut oil spray, sesame oil, you get it. It's all the basics just down here. So it's very simple, very easy to organize. I like to keep things sort of all together, and in general when I'm cooking, it's at the stove, and I'm just gonna need these things at a moment's notice, so they're just right here all organized. On this side of the oven, closer to the pantry, you have pretty much, it's like my bulletproof section. At the top here, I just have some extra cloth napkins. But in the middle section here, I have, this is like a random golden milk powder that I don't really use. And then I have some of I have the Ancient Organics ghee. I have some liquid coconut oil, MCTs. I have Fourth and Heart truffle ghee. So really here I'm leaving my ghee, my Madagascar vanilla ghee that I use in my bulletproof every day. I also have the cooking spray that I use all the time, which is literally just coconut oil and ghee. It's amazing, by St. Francis Herb Farm. And then I have my travel sizes of brain octane oil in this drawer. And then down here, I have what I use all the time for bulletproof. So you have the brain octane oil. I have some Tocos, which I actually don't use often, and I should move into my supplement section, but did not think of that before filming this video. I also have my honey. I have my Ceylon cinnamon. Why isn't it focusing? I also have my Ceylon cinnamon, maca powder, and beef gelatin. So this is like my bulletproof section. It just makes it easier because I'm doing it every single morning, so it's all in one area, and I just keep that all here. We have a little visitor today on set. We're just watching little puppy Cushy here. Guys, my baking stuff. The thing with the baking is that I always find it's really hard to store baking stuff. In my past experiences, I would always just have so much baking stuff. It would be like in OXO bins or be in jars, but I could never get to it. So having it in something like this, it just makes it so much easier. What I do is I buy these glass jars with the covers, and then I label the top. So I have my chocolate chips here, I have my shredded coconut here, I have my almond butter here. I always buy the almond butter from Costco for my baking needs, and then for when I'm eating it with toast and on a day-to-day, I use a raw almond butter. I have my vanilla. I have my cornstarch. I'm laughing because the dog is like going crazy on my slipper right now. I have baking powder and I have my baking soda. So these are really my go-to baking supplies. Additional baking supplies that I don't use as often. Ones I just showed you that are behind me. So similar to what I have with the spices, I have baking stock as well. So I have a fresh jar of Simple Mills vanilla frosting. If ever I need frosting and I can't make it myself, I always have one on hand. Peanut butter, if ever I'm cooking a recipe that calls for peanut butter. I have extra chocolate chips. These are my favorite chocolate chips, the Enjoy Life ones. These are my go-to chocolate chips. So I have some mini ones, I have some bigger ones, and I just keep the extra stock in here. I have some psyllium husk, amazing for when I make my favorite bread. Actually, I will link the bread recipe that I make from Clean Eating Goddess in the description of this video because I get so many questions, and at least it'll be a place you guys can go find it. And in the back of my baking section, I have these. So these things I really don't use often, but again, whenever I'm making something, if it's for a party or if it's for anything, I have them. So I have a ton of different sprinkles in here that I've sort of collected over the years. I have all my Christmas decorations because I always make shortbread cookies over the Christmas holidays. You guys will see that when Christmas time comes. And then I have like mini, baking muffin liners. I have bigger muffin liners, and then I have a bunch of different like food colorings, cookie cutters, and things of that nature. So it really just makes it easy to compartmentalize everything. Everything has its place. And let's be honest, like where would I put all of these little things? It would just become a disaster. Things would get spilled. It would become a mess. This way it's here. If I need it, all I have to do is pull out 1, pull out 2, pull out 3, and it's done. And makes life so much easier and so much more orderly. So the last thing that I just want to show you from within the pantry is just a little bit about my OXO bins. These things make my life so much easier as well. After those plastic bins, these are my second favorite go-to organizational thing of life. So just in terms of flours that you guys saw earlier in the video, you see they're all labeled, but this is how it works. You push it and it really holds it closed. So it keeps everything that's inside fresh. And it just makes it super easy. They come in all different shapes inside. All my nuts, as I showed you earlier in my little snack items, I buy this size, and I just, keep all my nuts in here. Walnut, omega-3s, anybody? Thank you guys so much for checking out my pantry tour. Here's my pantry. You've seen how I store, what I eat, what I use to store things, how I keep organized. And now I'm gonna do the very cribs thing to do and ask you guys to get out of my pantry and let me eat my chips. Just kidding, see you next week.